She was home. I heard the key turn in the lock. Sophia pushed the door open. I was sitting on the living room couch, waiting. "You're still up?" She glanced at me. "Waiting for you." I stood up. "Let me see your phone." "Why?" "Just want to see something." She hesitated for a beat, maybe two, before handing it over. I unlocked it and opened iMessage. Two pinned conversations at the top. One was Ethan. The other was Dad. Ethan is my best friend. We've known each other for 8 years. Dad was her father. I stared at those two names, and a dry, humorless laugh escaped my lips. "What is it?" Sophia asked. I looked up at her. "You have your dad and my best friend pinned to the top. But not your husband." The color drained from her face. I handed the phone back and walked to the bedroom without another word. The moment the door clicked shut, I heard her sigh from the living room. I didn't sleep. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling. Sophia didn't come in. She slept on the couch. At 3 a.m., I picked up my phone and texted Ethan. "You up?" 5 minutes later, he replied. "Nah." "What's up, Liam?" "Nothing. Just can't sleep." "Did you and Sophia have a fight?" I stared at that text for a long time. How would he know that? "No." "Why would you think that?" "Just a feeling. You've seemed off lately." I closed the message thread. The next morning, Sophia was already gone. A note on the kitchen counter read, "Breakfast is in the fridge. Headed to the office." I crumpled it up and threw it in the trash. I opened the email account where she gets her credit card statements. The password was my birthday. At least she hadn't changed that. I pulled up the last 3 statements. Every month, a few huge charges stood out. September 15th, a charge from a designer watch store, $7,500. October 8th, the Grand Hyatt, $1,200. November 3rd, a steakhouse downtown, $500. I screenshotted everything and moved the images to a hidden folder on my phone. Then I opened Instagram and went to Ethan's profile. His feed. A post from September 16th. A new watch on his wrist. The caption read, "Thanks for the gift, babe." I recognized that watch. A high-end brand. The one that costs over $7,000. I zoomed in on the picture on the logo on the watch face. It matched the name of the store from the credit card statement. My phone rang. It was Sophia. "Hello? My dad's coming over for dinner tonight." "Okay. Can you pick up some stuff from the store?" "Sure." I hung up and went back to the statements. Over the past 3 years, there were 67 charges just like these. About 2 a month. The grand total? Over $50,000. I make $80,000 a year. She makes $45,000. When we bought the house, the down payment was $120,000. I put in $75,000 of it. That 75 grand was every penny I'd saved for 5 years, plus another 37 from my parents. The mortgage is $3,000 a month. I cover $1,800. She pays $1,200. I managed to save about $1,000 a month. Over 3 years, I've put away almost $40,000. And her? She spent over $50,000 on someone else. I closed my laptop and walked into the kitchen. There was plenty of food in the fridge. I didn't need to go to the store, but I changed my clothes and left anyway. I went to the coffee shop across the street from Sophia's office building. I took a seat by the window and ordered a black coffee. I just watched the building across the street. Sophia's office was on the 18th floor. I waited for 2 hours. At noon, she walked out of the main entrance, and a man was right beside her. Ethan. They walked toward the parking garage together. I picked up my coffee. It was cold. She got in the driver's seat. He took the passenger side. I hailed a cab. "Follow that car." They went to that same steakhouse from her credit card bill. I watched from the cab as they went inside. An hour later, they came out. Sophia dropped Ethan at the subway station, then drove back to her office. I told the driver to take me home. At 6, Sophia came home with her father. "Hey, Mr. Miller. Good to see you." I took the bag of groceries from his hands. "Liam, my boy. How've you been?" "Doing great. You and Sophia doing okay?" I glanced over at Sophia. She was staring down at her phone, scrolling. "We're great," I repeated. Throughout dinner, her dad did most of the talking. "Sophia's been swamped at work, you know. You gotta cut her some slack. It's tough out there for a woman trying to build a career. You two have been married 3 years now. Isn't it about time you thought about kids?" I just kept eating, saying nothing. Sophia didn't say anything either. Right, Liam? Her dad looked right at me. We're waiting a bit, I said, putting my fork down. Waiting for what? You're 28, Liam. You're not getting any younger. Dad, just eat. Sophia finally cut in. Her dad shot her a look but dropped it. After dinner, her dad watched TV on the couch. I was in the kitchen doing the dishes. Sophia's phone was on the dining table. I glanced over at it. The screen lit up. A new message from Ethan. Thanks for today. Love you. I set the plate I was holding into the sink. I walked over to the table and picked up her phone. My thumbprint unlocked it. I opened iMessage and saw his text. I started scrolling up. 1,847 messages. The first one was from 3 years ago, December 5th, 2022. We got married on November 8th, 2022. Not even a month after our wedding. That's when it started. I screenshotted everything, every single message, and uploaded them all to my iCloud. Then I deleted the screenshots from her phone. I placed the phone back on the table exactly as it was. Her dad was still watching TV. Sophia was on the balcony, taking a call. I walked into our bedroom and shut the door. I opened my iCloud and started reading. Liam's working late, not coming home tonight. Come over. The watch I got you came in. I'll give it to you tomorrow. He's been looking at the credit card statements. Lay low for a bit. Don't text me. My dad thinks you're a great guy. Told me I should treat you right. I read that last one 3 times. Her dad knew. I shut my phone off and lay back on the bed. The ceiling was white. Blindingly white. The next day, I called in sick to work. As soon as Sophia left for the office, I went to the bank. I had them print out every single one of her transaction records. From December 2022 until now. 67 direct transfers to Ethan, totaling over $50,000. The biggest was $12,000. The memo line said, car down payment. The smallest was $143. The memo, I love you. I put the stack of papers in my briefcase. Then I went to Ethan's office building. He's a copywriter at an ad agency. Makes maybe $35,000 a year. At noon, he came out of the building. Alone. I walked up behind him. Ethan. He turned, saw me and froze. Liam? What are you doing here? Was in the neighborhood. Figured I'd see if you were free for lunch, I said with a smile. Yeah, man. Absolutely. We went to a diner nearby. After we ordered, I just watched him. So, what VE you been up to? The usual grind. Overtime every night. He sighed. You're the lucky one, Liam. Having Sophia to take care of you. Am I? Of course, man. She's amazing to you. I'm honestly jealous. I took a sip of my water. So, when are you and Sophia planning on having kids? Not sure. I bet Sophia's ready, right? Maybe. The food came. He ate like he was starving. Hey, have you lost weight? He asked suddenly. You think? Yeah, you look pale. Stressed out. Probably just work. It's been a grind. You should get that checked out. I can go with you if you want. I'm fine. I put down my fork. By the way, that's a nice watch. His hand instinctively went to his wrist. Oh, this? A friend got it for me. A girlfriend? Nah, just a really good friend. What did it run you? Not much. A few $100. I smiled. A $7,000 watch and he calls it a few $100. It suits you. Thanks, man. After we finished, he said he had to get back to the office. Hey, you should come over sometime, Liam. Sure. He turned and walked away. I just stood there watching him go. 8 years. Since college. He always said I was his best friend. And I thought he was mine. I got in a cab and went home. On the way, Sophia called. Why'd you call in sick today? Didn't feel well. Is it serious? No. Well, let's go out for dinner tonight. My dad wants to come too. Okay. I hung up and stared out the window. The cab drove past a department store. In the window display, a mannequin was wearing the exact same watch. The price tag? $7,500. For my birthday last year, Sophia gave me a tie. Cost $50. I didn't say anything. I just figured she wasn't great at picking out gifts. Now I realize it wasn't that she couldn't pick. She just didn't want to for me. That evening, Sophia and her dad picked me up. We went to a steakhouse. Her dad ordered half the menu. Liam, you need to eat more. You're too thin. Thanks, Mr. Miller. You and Sophia need to take care of each other. Don't let your imagination run wild. I looked up. What imagination? Well, he glanced at Sophia. Sophia told me you've been a little down lately. I'm fine. Good, good, he chuckled. You young people. It's normal to have little spats. Keeps things interesting. I put down my fork. Mr. Miller, what spats are we talking about? Oh, he looked uncomfortable. Sophia cut in. Dad, eat. Her dad went quiet. I looked from one to the other. Sophia stared at her plate, eating her steak. Her dad put more potatoes on her plate. Sophia, this is good, have some more. You too, Dad. They chatted and laughed. I felt like a stranger at my own table. After dinner, her dad said he had to leave. Liam, walk me out. I followed him to the door. At the doorway, he put a hand on my arm. Liam, let me give you some honest advice. Okay. Look, people make mistakes when they're young. A man's got to be the bigger person sometimes. I stared at him. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. A molehill? Listen. He paused. You're the man of the house. No one can take that away from you. I laughed in his face. Mr. Miller, you know, don't you? He froze. Know what? That she's seeing someone else. His hand dropped from my arm. Liam, you're letting your imagination get the best of you. I'm not imagining anything. I took a step back. I just need to know. Did you know? You knew? I cut him off. And you've known for a long time. He said nothing. Thanks for dinner, Mr. Miller. I turned and went back inside. I closed the door and leaned against it, my heart pounding. I heard Sophia saying goodbye to her dad outside. 10 minutes later, she came back in. What did my dad say to you? Nothing. I started walking toward the bedroom. Stop right there. I stopped. What are you suspicious about? She walked toward me. Nothing. Then why did you say that to my dad? I just wanted to confirm something. I turned to face her. What? Are you cheating on me? Her face went pale. What are you talking about? I'm not. I pulled out my phone and opened the photo album. These are your credit card statements. For the past 3 years, you've made 67 large purchases for someone, totaling over $50,000. She lunged and snatched the phone from my hand. You went through my statements? You made the password to the account my birthday. I stared her down. Sophia, it's Ethan, isn't it? She didn't answer. Isn't it? I asked again, my voice low. Yes. She threw my phone onto the couch. But we're not having an affair. No. I laughed. A cold, sharp sound. You buy him a $7,000 watch, put a $12,000 down payment on a car for him, take him to fancy dinners, get hotel rooms, and that's not an affair? What? We're just friends. Friends. I picked up my phone again. Let me show you how friends talk. I opened my iCloud and pulled up the screenshots. Liam's working late, not coming home tonight. Come over. The watch I got you came in. I'll give it to you tomorrow. He's been looking at the credit card statements. Lay low for a bit. I read them out loud, then looked at her. Does that sound like just friends to you? She sank onto the couch, defeated. Liam, don't say my name. I cut her off. 3 years of marriage, and I was the only one who didn't know. The fool. She looked up, her eyes pleading. I never wanted to hurt you. So you cheated on me for 3 years instead? I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. I grabbed my bag. I'm calling a lawyer tomorrow. What are you doing? Divorce. No. She shot to her feet. Liam, we can talk about this. There's nothing left to talk about. I walked to the door. She ran after me, grabbing my arm. Let go of me. No. I ripped my arm away. Sophia, listen to me. I said, my voice ice cold. When those divorce papers come, my signature will be on them before the ink is dry on yours. I opened the door and left. She didn't follow me out. I checked into a hotel. 1 person. 1 empty bed. The second my head hit the pillow, the tears finally came. I thought I could be strong. I was wrong. After 10 minutes, I forced myself up and splashed cold water on my face. The man in the mirror looked pathetic, his eyes red and swollen. I picked up my phone and texted a lawyer. I need to consult with you about a divorce. He replied almost instantly. Of course. Are you free tomorrow morning? Yes. Let's meet at my office at 10. Okay. I put the phone down and opened my iCloud again. All 1,847 messages. I read every single one. I didn't stop until 3 in the morning. The one that gutted me the most was from my birthday last year. It's your husband's birthday today, right? Ethan had texted. Yeah, Sophia replied. Got him a tie. A $50 tie? That's kind of lame, isn't it? He wouldn't appreciate anything expensive. And what about me? You're different. How so? You deserve the best. I closed the laptop. Deserve the best. 3 years of marriage. I woke up early every day to make her breakfast. I waited up for her every night. I worked for 5 years, saving every dime for our down payment. I paid the bigger share of the mortgage every single month. I pinched pennies and managed to build up nearly 40,000 in savings. And she spent over 50,000 on him. And in the end, I wasn't the one who deserved the best. My phone rang. It was Ethan. Liam, I heard you and Sophia had a fight? I ignored it. He called again. And again. The third time I picked up. What? Liam, man, are you okay? Never better. Sophia said you moved out. Is that true? It is. Why? What the hell happened? I laughed. Ethan, how long have we known each other? 8 years, man. 8 years. I repeated. And in all that time, would you say we were good friends? Best friends. Of course we are. Then if we're such good friends. I paused, letting the silence hang. Why did you sleep with my wife? Silence on the other end of the line. Liam, what are you talking about? Don't play dumb. I cut him off. I have the texts. All 1,847 of them. Going back 3 years. Liam. And the bank transfers. 67 of them. Over 50 grand. I just never thought. My voice was dangerously calm. That my best friend of 8 years would be the one to stab me in the back. Liam. Just let me explain. There's nothing to explain. I hung up. It rang again immediately. I turned the phone off. The next morning, I was at the lawyer's office. My lawyer, Mr. Davis, was in his 40s and all business. Mr. Hayes, he said, I've reviewed the basics of your situation. Right? Do you have proof? I do. I took out my phone and opened the iCloud folder. Mr. Davis reviewed the texts and the bank statements, then nodded slowly. This is more than sufficient. So, for the divorce, if she agrees, we can file for an uncontested divorce, Davis said. If she fights it, we'll have to take it to court. How long would that take? Uncontested, we can have it done in a month. A court battle could take 3 to 6. I want this over with as quickly as possible. Then I suggest you talk to her first. See if she'll agree to the terms. Okay. Regarding the division of assets, what are you looking for? I put down the majority of the money on the house. I want the house. We can argue for that, Davis said. But you'll have to buy out her share. How much? It would be half of the current equity. Market value minus the outstanding mortgage. I understand. After leaving his office, I went to the county assessor's office. I looked up the official appraisal of our property. Current market value is $450,000. We still owe $300,000 on the mortgage. That's $150,000 in equity. Her half would be $75,000. But I put in $75,000 of the $120,000 down payment. I didn't feel like I owed her a damn thing. That afternoon, Sophia called. We need to talk. Fine. The usual place. 6 o'clock. The usual place. The coffee shop where we had our first date. I got there early. I took a seat by the window and ordered a black coffee. At 6 on the dot, Sophia walked in. She looked exhausted. Liam, sit down. She sat down across from me, her eyes searching my face. I've done a lot of thinking these past few days. About what? I know I was wrong. Okay. Can you please give me another chance? No. I met her gaze. Sophia, we're getting a divorce. Why? You're asking me why? I laughed, but there was no humor in it. 3 years. 1,847 text messages. Over $50,000. Is that not enough for you? I swear it will never happen again. A promise. I scoffed. 3 years ago, at our wedding, you promised to love and honor me for the rest of your life. How did that work out? Liam, don't. I cut her off. Here's the deal. Uncontested divorce. I get the house. I'll give you $40,000. $40,000? You think that's too little? The equity in the house is $150,000. My half is 75. You have the nerve to ask for 75? I sneered. I put in 75 grand of the down payment, you put in 45. I've paid the majority of the mortgage every month for 3 years. Do the math, Sophia. You're not entitled to half. She went quiet. And another thing, I continued, my voice low. You spent over $50,000 on him. That was marital property. Half of that was my money. So you took 25 grand from me to keep your boy toy. 40,000 is more than generous. What? I don't have the money. No money? I stared at her. Where did the money for the $7,000 watch come from? The $12,000 down payment on his car. That was our money, wasn't it? She looked down at the table. The house is mine. You get 40,000. I stood up. You agree and this is over in a month. You fight me and I'll see you in court. It'll take 6 months, and the outcome will be the same, only uglier. I agree. Good. I grabbed my coat. We'll go to City Hall tomorrow to file. That soon? You think I'm going to drag this out through the holidays so your dad can lecture me about forgiveness? No chance. She said nothing. I turned and walked out. As I reached the door, she called out behind me. Liam, I really did love you. I paused at the door, my back still to her. If you loved me, you wouldn't have done this. I walked out of the coffee shop. Outside, it had started to rain. It was cold, but my heart felt even colder. The next day, Sophia and I went to City Hall. We filled out the paperwork, got the photos taken, signed on the dotted lines. An hour later, it was done. The moment the clerk handed me my copy of the filed papers, I felt a wave of relief. About the house, Sophia began. My lawyer will be in touch. I interrupted. The 40,000. When do I get it? After you've signed the deed over. It'll be in your account within 30 days. Fine. We walked out of the courthouse together. She stopped on the steps, looking at me. Liam, I'm sorry. Don't be, I said, meeting her eyes. From now on, we're just strangers. But goodbye, Sophia. I turned and walked away. I didn't look back. On my way home, Ethan called. I answered it. Liam, I heard you and Sophia are divorced. We are. Why? Was it because of me? Not just because of you, I said. It's because the two of you lied to me for 3 years. Liam, man, I never meant for this to happen. Didn't mean for it to happen? I laughed. What would you call it then? An accident. She said. What did she say? I cut him off. That our marriage was a sham? That she was going to leave me for you? Ethan, are you really that stupid? Or are you just playing dumb? 8 years we've been friends. I thought you knew me better than anyone, I said. Turns out the only thing you knew was how to wreck my marriage. Liam, I never thought it would go this far. What did you think would happen? I thought, he hesitated. I thought she would leave you for me. I was quiet for a moment. Well, she's divorced now. What? We're divorced, I said. So now's your chance. You can be with her. Liam, but I should warn you, I added. She's got no house, no money, and she's flat broke. You sure you want to take that on? The other end of the line went silent. Liam, save it. I hung up the phone. It rang again. It was her father. I answered. Liam, how could you divorce Sophia? Mr. Miller, Sophia and I are divorced. You can just call me Liam. I know you knew she was cheating. I cut him off. For 3 years, you helped her lie to me, didn't you? I'm not even mad at you, I said. It's natural to protect your daughter. I get it. But don't expect me to be sentimental about it now. What does that mean? It means I'm suing Sophia for the money she spent, I said. That $50,000 was marital property. I'm entitled to half of it back, and I'm going to get it. You wouldn't dare. Watch me. I hung up the phone. Back in my hotel room, I lay on the bed. I stared at the ceiling. 3 years. A 3-year marriage over just like that. I thought I would be devastated. But right now, all I felt was relief. Like a massive weight had been lifted off my shoulders. My phone rang. It was my mom. Liam, honey, I heard you got divorced? Yeah, Mom. Why didn't you tell us? I didn't want you to worry. Oh, honey. Her voice cracked. Are you okay? I'm okay, Mom. Really. What about the house? I'm keeping it. Oh, that's good, she said, relieved. Where are you staying now? A hotel. Don't stay in a hotel. Come home. It's okay. I'm moving back into the house in a few days. All right then, she paused. Liam, just remember, no matter what happens, you can always come home. I know, Mom. I hung up the phone and closed my eyes. I slept for a long, long time. When I woke up the next day, I felt clearer than I had in months. I called Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, I want to sue my ex-wife. On what grounds? She spent over $50,000 of marital assets on her affair. I want my half back. We can do that, he said. What documentation will you need? I have the bank statements. What else do you need? We'll need to establish the nature of their relationship. Will the text messages work? They'll work just fine. Okay. I'll get everything organized and send it over. Excellent. After the call, I started putting everything together. The bank statements, the text messages. I printed out every single page. I put it all in a binder. It was a thick stack of paper. Looking at it all, I had to laugh. 3 years. They really thought they could get away with it. But the truth always comes out. That afternoon, I dropped the binder off at Mr. Davis's office. This is very thorough, Davis said. I'll file the petition immediately. Thank you. One thing I should mention. What's that? Once we file, she will be served, Davis said. You should be prepared for that. I'm prepared. Very good. After leaving his office, I went to the grocery store. I bought groceries, cleaning supplies, everything I needed. It was time to move back into my house. Even though the place was filled with bad memories, it was my house. I wasn't going to let those memories ruin it for me. That night, I packed my bags and checked out of the hotel. I took a cab home. I opened the door. The house was silent. Sophia's things were gone. Only my stuff remained. I dropped my bags and opened a window. The cool night air felt good. I stood there for a while, just looking out at the city. The lights of the city stretching out before me. It was time for my life to start over, too. A week later, the court summons was delivered. Sophia had been served. She called me, screaming. Are you insane? No. I'm perfectly calm. Why are you suing me? Because you spent $25,000 of my money, I said. It was marital property. I'm entitled to my half. And the court fees, I added. That's another $5,000. You'll be covering that too. Why should I? Because you're the one who cheated. She slammed the phone down. 10 minutes later, her father called. Liam, what the hell do you think you're doing? Mr. Miller, I'm just getting back what's mine. You're divorced. Why can't you just let it go? The divorce is one thing, the money is another, I said. Half of that $50,000 she spent on him was mine. You're just trying to ruin Sophia's life. Did she give a damn about ruining mine? I shot back. You, Mr. Miller, I know you love your daughter. I cut him off. But while you were busy protecting her, did you ever once think about me? For 3 years, you watched her cheat on me. Watched her spend our money on another man. Watched her lie to my face. I said, did it ever occur to you that I'm someone's son, too? My parents didn't raise me to be some doormat for your daughter to walk all over. I said, you wouldn't step in. So don't blame me for using the law to stand up for myself. I hung up the phone. It rang again. Ethan. I declined the call. He sent a text. Liam, can we please meet and talk? I texted back. Nothing to talk about. Liam, I'm so sorry. I know I messed up. If you're sorry, then leave me alone. Liam, I blocked his number. 8 years of friendship. Over. That night, I went to a steakhouse by myself. I was alone, but I ordered a huge meal. It was the best meal I'd had in a long time. When the waiter brought the check, he smiled. Sir, you really put that away. Impressive appetite. I smiled back. Yeah, I've got my appetite back. After dinner, I went to a movie. Just picked one at random. It was a romance. The wife cheats, the husband forgives her. They all lived happily ever after. I walked out thinking it was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen. Cheating is cheating. Why would anyone forgive that? It was 10 o'clock when I left the theater. The streets were still busy. Couples walking hand in hand, looking happy. I used to think Sophia and I would be like that. But looking back, we never really were. I went home, took a shower and got into bed. I was scrolling on my phone and saw a news headline. Man sues cheating wife. Awarded $40,000 in damages by court. I clicked the link and read the whole story. The situation was almost identical to mine. Except that guy had it worse. He had a kid. I was suddenly very, very grateful that Sophia and I never had kids. That would have made everything so much harder. I put my phone down and closed my eyes. I was asleep in minutes. I've been sleeping well lately. No insomnia, no nightmares. I knew I had made the right decision. The next day, Mr. Davis called. Mr. Hayes, the court has officially filed your case. When's the court date? In 1 month. Okay. You'll need to be present. I'll be there. All right then. Call me if anything comes up. Will do. After the call, I headed to work. My coworkers seemed surprised to see me looking so normal. Liam. Hey. Everything okay with you lately? Yeah. Just handling some personal stuff. All good now. Well, you look good. Rested. Feeling good. I sat down at my desk and got to work. It didn't take long to get back into the swing of things. At lunch, I ran into my boss in the cafeteria. Liam, he said, you've been doing some great work lately. Thanks. I'm thinking of promoting you to finance manager. Are you interested? Yes, absolutely. Good. It'll be official starting next month. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I couldn't stop smiling. Finance manager. That came with a significant raise. It would put me over $100,000 a year. My first promotion in the 5 years I'd been at the company. That afternoon, the official email came through from HR. It confirmed the promotion. I read it 3 times just to be sure. Then I called my parents. Mom, Dad, I got a promotion. Really? My mom sounded thrilled. To what? Finance manager. It's a big step up. Oh, that's wonderful, honey. Yeah, I'll take you guys out to dinner to celebrate. We'd love that. After the call, I leaned back in my chair. I looked out the window. The sun was shining. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like my life was too. A month later, we were in court. Sophia was there. I was there. And Ethan had been subpoenaed as a witness. Her father was sitting in the gallery. The judge asked his questions. My lawyer presented all the evidence. The bank statements, the text messages. Page after page. Sophia's lawyer tried to argue, but it was useless. The evidence was overwhelming. In the end, the judge adjourned the court and said he would deliver his ruling in 2 weeks. As I was leaving the courtroom, her father blocked my path. Liam, can't you just let this go? For Sophia's sake. Mr. Miller, this is the legal process. It's not about me letting her go. You're going to ruin her life. Did she think about ruining my life when she was cheating on me? I shot back. You, Mr. Miller, I know you love your daughter, I said, looking him straight in the eye. But why didn't you say something to her 3 years ago when you first found out? Why didn't you tell her to stop? You didn't. You helped her lie to me. I took a step closer. Do you remember last year when my dad was sick? I came to you and I begged you for a loan to help with his medical bills. Do you remember what you said? The color drained from his face. You told me, everyone has to take care of their own family. And now I find out that while my father was sick, your daughter was spending thousands on another man's car, and you were helping her cover it up. You have some nerve coming to me now. Mr. Miller, I'm going to say this one last time, I said, my voice low and hard. I am not a doormat. Your daughter cheated and you helped her. So don't you dare blame me for using the law to get what I'm owed. I walked away. Behind me, I heard him shout, Liam, you'll regret this. I didn't turn around. When I got outside, Ethan was waiting by the steps. Liam, can we please talk? There's nothing to talk about. Liam, I am so sorry. His eyes were red-rimmed. Can you ever forgive me? Forgive you? I laughed. Ethan, do you really think what you did deserves forgiveness? She lied to me too. Lied to you? I stared at him. She told you she was going to leave me for you? And you just believed her? Ethan, you knew me for 8 years. You knew my marriage. You knew Sophia and I were fine, I said. You knew there were no problems, and you went after her anyway. That's not being lied to. That's being a snake. Liam, don't call me that. I cut him off. We're not friends anymore. We're done. I turned to leave. He yelled after me, Liam, you're going to regret this. I stopped. Regret. I turned back to face him. The only thing I regret is ever being stupid enough to call you my friend. I walked away, and this time I didn't look back. 2 weeks later, the judge's ruling came in. Sophia was ordered to pay me back the $25,000, plus my $5,000 in legal fees. A total of $30,000. I had won. The day I got the official judgment, I went to the best steakhouse in the city. By myself. And I ordered a feast. A celebration. After dinner, I went to a high-end department store. I bought myself a new suit. Cost $1,000. I never would have spent that kind of money on myself before. Now I felt like I deserved it. That night, back home, I was lying in bed. I opened my phone. A text from Sophia. I'm sorry. I didn't reply. I deleted the conversation and blocked her number. From that moment on, Sophia was completely out of my life. The next day, I checked my bank account. The $30,000 was already there. Added to my existing savings, I now had over $70,000 in the bank. I opened my investment app and moved all of it into my portfolio. Then I called my parents. Mom, Dad, I'm sending you some money. Oh no, honey, you don't have to do that. You keep it. It's fine. I'm making good money now. I want to. Well, all right then. Just take care of yourself. Okay? I will. After I hung up, I transferred $10,000 to them. After everything they'd done for me, it was the least I could do. The next few months were busy. The promotion meant a lot more work. But I loved it. I was up at 7 every morning, at the office by 8. I'd leave around 7 in the evening and head home. On weekends, I'd hit the gym or go out with friends from work. My life was slowly, but surely, getting back on track. 3 months later, I got a call from an unknown number. Hello? Am I speaking with Mr. Liam Hayes? This is he. This is a realtor from downtown. I have a condo I think you might be interested in. Sorry, I'm not in the market right now. Mr. Hayes, it's a great location, and the price is excellent. Thanks, but I'm really not interested. I hung up and went back to my work. But it sparked an idea. I had over $70,000 in the bank, and with my new salary, I was saving a lot more. If I saved hard for another couple of years, I could buy a small investment property. No mortgage, all cash. The thought was exhilarating. From that day on, I started saving aggressively. Every month, I put away everything that wasn't essential. A year later, I had saved another $40,000. Added to what I already had, my savings were well over $100,000. I sent my parents another $10,000. I still had plenty left over. One more year and I could buy that condo. Life was starting to feel full of possibilities again. Another year went by. I now had nearly $200,000 in savings, plus the equity in my house which had grown. My net worth was climbing steadily. This was the result of 7 years of hard work. Sometimes when I was alone, I would think back. If I had never gotten divorced, where would I be now? Probably still in that house, being lied to every day. Probably still miserable, pretending to be happy. Probably still wasting my life on a person who didn't deserve it. Thank God I got out when I did. That year, at the company's annual awards dinner, the CEO announced that I had been named Employee of the Year. The bonus was $10,000. The whole room applauded. I walked up to the stage and accepted the award. Thank you, everyone. I looked out at the crowd, feeling a wave of emotion. Just a few years ago, my life was in ruins. And now I was standing here, being recognized for my hard work. Things really can get better. After the dinner, I went out for drinks with some colleagues. We had a few drinks and I felt genuinely happy. On the way home, I got a text message. It was from an unknown number. Liam, it's me. I opened it. It's Sophia. I'd like to talk. I stared at the message for a moment. Then I deleted it and blocked the number. Some people are better left in the past. I got home, took a shower, and lay in bed. I was scrolling through TikTok on my phone. A video popped up. The title was something like, "Divorced Man's Epic Comeback? Ex-Wife Begs for Him Back." I laughed. I wasn't making millions, but I was happy. I was in control of my own life. And that was enough. I turned off my phone and closed my eyes. I slept soundly. The next morning, sunlight was streaming through my window. Felt warm. I got up and made myself breakfast. Then I headed to work. On the way, I passed a flower shop. The window was full of bright, colorful flowers. I stopped and went inside. Hello? Can I help you find something? I'd like a bouquet of sunflowers, please. Of course. I walked out of the shop with the flowers in my hand. Sunflowers. They always face the sun. Just like my life now. Another 3 years flew by. I was 30 years old now. My salary had increased again. My savings had grown significantly. Between my savings and the equity in my house, my net worth was solid. This is what I had built in the 5 years since my divorce. In 5 years, I had gone from a broken man to someone independent and confident. Sometimes I still thought about Sophia, not because I missed her, but because I was so glad I had left her. So glad. One weekend, I went to my college reunion. It had been almost 10 years since graduation. A lot had changed. People were married, had kids, had successful careers. At one point, an old classmate asked me, "Liam, are you single?" "I am. Are you looking to date anyone?" "I'm open to it, but not actively looking." I smiled. "I'm actually pretty happy on my own right now." "That makes sense. A guy like you can afford to be picky. You deserve someone great." "Thanks." After the reunion, I took a cab home. On the way, I got a text. It was from Sophia's father. "Liam, this is Sophia's dad. Can we meet and talk?" I stared at the message, surprised. After 5 years, why was he contacting me now? I didn't reply, but then another message came through. "Liam, Sophia is having a very hard time. I was hoping you could help her." I read the message and laughed out loud. Help her? Why on earth would I do that? I replied, "Mr. Miller, Sophia and I have been divorced for 5 years. Her life has nothing to do with me anymore. Liam, please, for the sake of the fact that she was once your wife." "Mr. Miller, do you remember what you said to me 5 years ago, when I was the one who needed help?" He didn't reply. I typed, "You said, everyone has to take care of their own family. I'm just returning the favor." I blocked his number. Some people just don't deserve any sympathy. When I got home, out of curiosity, I looked up Sophia online. She was working at some small marketing firm, probably not making much. She was living in a small rental apartment by herself. And Ethan? I looked him up too. It seemed his life hadn't turned out so great either. From his social media, it looked like he was a single dad. Sophia was nowhere in sight. He was raising a kid on his own. It looked tough. I closed my laptop. Their lives had nothing to do with me anymore. I walked over to my window and looked out at the city. The lights twinkled below. My life was just getting started. And I wasn't afraid, because I knew that as long as I kept moving forward, things would only get better. 2 more years passed. I was 32, and in those 2 years I had met someone. Her name was Chloe. She was a client at work. We met while working on a project together. She was smart, elegant, and had a great sense of humor. We hit it off immediately. A few weeks later, she asked me out for dinner. I said yes. Over dinner, she asked me, "Are you seeing anyone?" "No, I'm not." "Then can I ask you out on a real date?" I was a little taken aback, but then I smiled. "You can certainly try." And so we started dating. She was respectful, kind, and never pushed me. She knew I was divorced, but she didn't care. "The past doesn't matter," she told me. "All that matters is our future." That meant the world to me. 6 months later, she proposed. We were at our favorite restaurant and she got down on one knee right there and pulled out a ring. "Liam, will you marry me?" I looked at her, my eyes welling up. "Yes," I said. "Yes, I will." We got married. It was a small ceremony, just our parents and a few of our closest friends. No big fuss, just a lot of love and sincere good wishes. After the wedding, she moved into my house. She said it was my home, and she didn't want to change a thing. She was thoughtful, and I knew she truly loved me. We cooked together, watched movies, traveled. It was a simple life, but a happy one. Sometimes I would think about Sophia, not because I missed her, but as a point of comparison. And every time, it made me appreciate what I had with Chloe even more, because I knew just how rare it was to find someone who truly loves you. Another year passed. I was 33. One day I was at the mall. As I was walking past a coffee shop, I saw a familiar face. Ethan. He was sitting in a corner, a baby stroller beside his table. He looked exhausted, his eyes puffy and red. I paused at the entrance, hesitating for a moment. Then I turned to leave. But he had already seen me. "Liam." I stopped. He got up and walked over to me. "Liam, Long time no see. Ethan. You. He looked me up and down. You look good. You're doing well. I'm doing okay. I heard you got married again. I did. Congratulations. Thanks. We stood there in an awkward silence for a moment. Liam. He started. I wanted to apologize. Don't. I cut him off. It's in the past. Liam. I really am sorry. His eyes were getting watery. These last few years they've been really hard. I just looked at him, saying nothing. Sophia never married me, he said. I'm raising my kid alone. So hard. I finally understand how wrong I was. I was quiet for a moment. Ethan, some mistakes can't be unmade, I said. An apology doesn't change what you did. I know, he said, looking at the floor. I wanted you to know that I regret it. Regret doesn't change anything either, I said, looking him in the eye. You made your choices. You destroyed my marriage. And now you're living with the consequences. You earned this. Ethan, I don't hate you, I said, because hating you would be a waste of my time. He looked at me, tears finally spilling down his cheeks. Liam, take care of yourself. I turned and walked away. Behind me, he called out, Liam, will you ever forgive me? I stopped for a second without turning around. No, and I kept walking. When I got home, Chloe could tell something was wrong. What is it? You seem upset. It's nothing. Just ran into someone from my past. Oh, she put her arms around me. Want to go for a walk to clear your head? Yeah, I'd like that. We went for a walk in the park nearby. As we walked along the path, she squeezed my hand. I love you, Liam. I love you too, Chloe. I looked at her, and my heart felt full. Some people are just chapters in your life, but others are the whole story. I was so lucky to have found Chloe. Another year passed. I was 34. I was sitting in my office, looking out the window. The river below sparkled, and a few boats drifted lazily by. I was now the director of finance for the company. The pay was excellent. My savings had crossed the $500,000 mark. Between my investments and my properties, my net worth was over $1 million. This is what I had built in the 7 years since my divorce. In 7 years, I had gone from a broken man to a successful one. I had gone from having my world collapse to building a new one, stronger than before. I had been through a lot. Divorce, a lawsuit, promotions, a new marriage. But through it all, I had kept moving forward. Because I had learned that the only person you can truly rely on is yourself. My phone rang. It was Chloe. Hey honey, what do you feel like for dinner tonight? Whatever you feel like making. I'll eat anything you cook. Okay. I'll make your favorite pot roast then. Sounds perfect. I hung up the phone, smiling. This was the life I had always wanted. Simple, happy, stable. After work, I stopped by the coffee shop downstairs. I ordered a latte and took a seat by the window. I watched the people on the street hurrying by. And then I saw him, Ethan. He had a toddler stumbling along beside him, and he was holding a baby in his arms. He looked utterly exhausted, his eyes hollow. I watched him, a strange mix of feelings washing over me. It had been years. He had destroyed my marriage. And what had it gotten him? This, alone with 2 kids. And Sophia? I didn't know where she was. And I didn't care. He turned his head and his eyes met mine. I calmly picked up my coffee and took a sip. Then I stood up and walked out. No wave, no nod, no acknowledgement. There was nothing left to say between us. I walked out of the coffee shop and hailed a cab. Home, please. You got it. As the cab pulled away, I glanced out the window. Ethan was still standing there, watching me go. I turned my gaze forward. Some people are just ghosts from a past life. When I got home, the smell of dinner filled the air. Chloe was in the kitchen. Honey, you're home. Go wash up. Dinner's ready. Okay. I went into the bathroom and looked at my reflection in the mirror. I was 34. There were a few more lines around my eyes, but my gaze was steadier, more confident than it had been a decade ago. I smiled. This was me, Liam Hayes, a man who had been through hell and come out the other side, still ready to live. I washed my hands and went to the dining room. Chloe had already set a plate for me. Taste it and tell me what you think. I'm sure it's amazing. We ate dinner and talked about our day. It was normal. It was perfect. After dinner, we curled up on the couch to watch a movie. Chloe had her arm around me, and I rested my head on her shoulder. Liam, she said softly, what would you think about having a baby? I was quiet for a moment, surprised. You want to have a baby? Yeah. We've been married for almost 3 years now. Then yeah. Okay. Really? Yeah. She squeezed me tight, her face breaking into a huge smile. Oh, Liam, I love you. I love you too. I looked out the window, a feeling of deep peace settling over me. This is what life was, full of ups and downs, pain and joy. But if you just keep going, life can still surprise you. I closed my eyes, leaning against my wife, and felt completely at home.